WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5:30.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 5:30. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start the clock on our first 6 minutes of news. And we start tonight with what deputies call a slow speed chase in Van Buren County that ended with one man under arrest. The sheriff's office says Jeffrey Henry was already wanted for unspecified charges when deputies tried to pull him over on Wednesday. After a short argument with the deputy, officials say Henry pulled away, but not before the deputy was able to stab one of the truck's tires with a knife. And during the chase, you can see the tire deflate. After driving out into a rural area, deputies were able to block Henry's escape and took him into custody. In Georgia, the father of a teenager charged with killing 2 students and 2 teachers at a high school in September is now being charged with second-degree murder and several other crimes. Today in court, his lawyers entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. Prosecutors say Colin Gray purchased an AR-15 for Colt Gray, and that is the gun the teen used in the shooting. And police say the father bought the weapon after police investigated his son for making online threats to commit a school shooting. Colt Gray has also pleaded not guilty. In April, Jennifer and James Crumbly became the first parents in America sentenced to prison for their son's deadly school shooting in Oxford, Michigan in 2021. 2 sheriff's deputies in Florida are dead, and a third is in a hospital tonight after they were hit by a vehicle this morning. All 3 apartment motorcycles when the crash with an SUV happened. Officials say the surviving deputy is in critical condition. There is no word yet on how exactly the crash happened or the status of anyone in the SUV. Also in Florida, officers arrested a man who's accused of plotting to bomb the New York Stock Exchange. The FBI says Haran Abdul Malik Yenner of Coral Springs was storing bomb-making supplies in a storage unit. They say he told undercover agents that he wanted to bomb the stock exchange sometime this week. He's been officially charged with an attempt to use an explosive device to damage or destroy a building used in interstate commerce.
I'm not going to leave him in there.
Well, this was the dramatic moment a police officer in Columbus, Ohio, saved a man from that burning truck. The officer says she could not see the man inside very well, just his silhouette, but she reached her hand into the burning truck, hoping he would see it and then grab onto it. He did, and then she and her partner were able to drag him away from the truck. Officials say the man is recovering from this intense ordeal. Well, back here in Michigan, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission held a meeting in Van Buren County to hear what the public has to say about reopening the Palisades nuclear power plant. The plant closed in 2022, but the company Holtec International purchased it and wants to restart operations. The public meeting on Wednesday is part of that process. Our sister station in Grand Rapids reports much of the meeting focused on safety and emergency preparedness. At Detroit Metro Airport, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, they say live larvae they seized earlier this year are confirmed to be a rare and potentially destructive fruit fly. Officials confirmed they were caper fruit flies, one of the most damaging agriculture pests in the entire world. The larvae were discovered among flowers after a traveler from Italy refused to answer agricultural questions. As cases of bird flu among children spread, health officials are trying to solve a mystery. There have been 53 confirmed human cases across 7 states so far this year. Well, this week, health officials in California are reporting a possible case in a child who had no known contact with an infected animal. Bird flu is occurring in wild birds, poultry, other animals, and sporadically in humans. Health experts say potential human-to-human transmission would be cause for concern.
If it's a human, that means that there is human-to-human transmission going under the radar, and that is one of the signs of something that a virus that could be on the verge of becoming pandemic when you have human-to-human transmission. We worry about animal viruses that we have not developed immunity to before.
A teen in Canada is critically ill with a case of bird flu, and the source of that infection is also unknown. Doctors have also seen mutations in that case that would make it more easily transmitted from person to person. The International Criminal Court has now issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli defense officials, and the leaders of Hamas. They are all accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity. Israel and the militant group Hamas have been in a destructive war since Hamas launched an attack on Israel more than a year ago. Netanyahu called the warrants outrageous and anti-Israel. The war has killed about 1,200 Israelis, while Palestinian health officials say their death numbers are more than 44,000. A bear cub that went viral after it was taken from a tree by selfie-hungry humans in North Carolina is now back in the wild. The state's Wildlife Resources Commission rescued the cub after people pulled her down from a tree to take some pictures. She spent 6 months in a rehab program and is now deemed able to survive in the wild. She was released in an undisclosed area with a tracking collar and tags so she can be monitored. And over the state line in South Carolina now, the White House Christmas tree has been cut down and is on its way to D.C. White House staff members picked out the tree at the Carter Christmas Tree Farm, which was named the 2024 Grand Champion Grower at the National Christmas Tree Contest. It was a welcome honor after Hurricane Helene damaged South Carolina's large Christmas tree industry. And to top off our first 6 minutes of news, a volcano in Iceland is now erupting for the 7th time in a year. While the volcano is spewing lava and ash high into the air, authorities say there's no threat to aviation, although people are being told to be aware of the dangers from volcanic gases. Also, a nearby town of about 3,800 people is not threatened. That is absolutely incredible video, Kendall.
Yeah, 7 times?
Yes.
That's really insane there.
I know.
Yikes. Well, you know, Siobhan, I'm kind of erupting with excitement. Our first snowfall of the season out of the way. Even better, we have warmer temperatures for the weekend.
Okay, yeah, that is kind of a welcome news there, Kendall. The full forecast after the break. And then later in this week's Popcorn Picks, Denzel Washington stars in a new drama about family and more. We're taking a look at The Piano Lesson and other movies coming up, so keep it right here.